Thank you. It is nice to see you in person. We've all seen you before on television and heard from you. So you're the co-chair of the advisory board, which was created by the chief elections officer. Who's the other co-chair?
Justice Ian Binney.
Yeah. Okay, I saw his name on the board. The board is a list of who's who. I mean, it's got a whole host of
Incredible person.
celebrities: Lise Burnett, Ian Benny, Roberta Jameson, Preston Manning, John Manley, Bob Ray, Roy Romano, Hugh Siegel, Michelle Thibodeau Deguire, Paul Thomas, Michael Wilson, and Kathy Wong. Now, as Senator Moore mentioned directly, your comments were reported widely. This particular piece of legislation would be, I would say, monumental in terms of Elections Canada. Did you have a board meeting to discuss this with the board?
We have held two meetings. We had one meeting in person in December, and we had one meeting by telephone, and I'm afraid I just can't remember the exact date, after the bill was introduced, very shortly after the bill was introduced. And that was about a 45-minute to 1 hour conversation.
Okay. So you come in today and you distinguish and you state that you're speaking on your own.
Absolutely.
But because of your notoriety across this country.
She's not able to speak.
No, just a second. You are. But the article that I read did not say that you were speaking on your own. The article, with respect, the article is quoting you. And I would take it that, and whether people agree or disagree, I guess you're entitled to your opinion. I take this that you're speaking for the board. You're co-chair. You didn't distinguish yourself in this article.
Well, if that impression was given, then I regret that. I certainly made no indication to anyone that I was speaking on behalf of that board. And quite frankly, there are very different views in an advisory committee, which is actually what one would want. So I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody but myself.
Well, you're telling us that now, but here's a headline that I took it that you were speaking for this board, or at least you would have had. So I take it that they may not agree with you. Is that correct?
I am sure that there are other people on that advisory committee who do not agree with me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. That's good to know. We won't have.
That is the role of an advisory committee. The Office of the Auditor General has had these kinds of advisory committees for decades, and it's important to have people with opposing points of view when you discuss issues, so that you can have a broader appreciation and understanding of what people think.
I couldn't agree with you more, but here's what Canadians know now. The former Auditor General, who has considerable credibility, has made these comments saying that it's virtually impossible now to have a fair election.
I think people would associate me much more in my role as former Auditor General rather than co-chair of an advisory committee.
All right, well, let's go into some of the quotes. That it would undercut the independence of the chief electoral watchdog. Could you explain to me how that is so when, in fact, this bill gives more independence? Where is the undercutting of the independence of the chief electoral
Well,
officer?
could you quote what exactly, it's the chief electoral officer, which I've tried to explain in my opening statement, that there are at least two provisions which would affect his independence.
Yeah.
On communications and on contracting.
Well, on communications, we heard from the minister this morning, in fact, on the contracting, I presume that Elections Canada has a budget?
But it requires Treasury Board.
Absolutely.
Approval. No, but the current contracting policy, and I can provide it to the committee, specifically states that agents of Parliament do not require Treasury Board approval.
We approved this in July in the accounts.
And now it's being changed.
I'll question that later. Impedes investigations into wrongdoing. You stated that.
What, no, I don't know what you were referring to.
I'm referring to the article.
Could you read or show me the exact, what exactly is being said?
We're going to have to move on. I'll put you in the second round, Senator McInnes, and you can pursue it further with the witness in the second round, and